In this exercise, we're actually going to finally build our stack with CloudFormation. We're going to review some useful areas in the CloudFormation Web GUI and verify spin-up of most of the resources in our template. We're also going to modify our web server auto-scaling group's security group to allow direct access to our instances. We're also going to verify that we have 2 healthy instances. It's required before you proceed that you've done the download and modify CloudFormation template exercise in this chapter. We also highly suggest that you do the entire course before you're anywhere even close to this chapter. You'll get the most out of this if you understand all the concepts and all the details we're talking about. As we say in every lesson in this chapter, this exercise is going to create multiple resources in Amazon. There will be costs, and they should be minimal, probably just a couple bucks, as long as you terminate the stack when you're done. For this reason, we highly suggest that you have about 60 to 90 minutes ahead of you before you proceed. In this actual chapter, we will spin up instances, and they will take a long time to spin up. Please log into the AWS console with your master account. In one of the decks, we created an IAM account. Make sure you're not logged in as that user. Make sure you're logged in as your master account. From this top level, let's select CloudFormation. And here we're going to push Create New Stack. Let's give our stack a descriptive name so we can find it later. Let's call it Drupal Stack. Next, let's upload the template file that we just modified. If you're not 100% sure that your modifications were good, you may want to use the one that Infinite Skills provided for you. If you have multiple templates, make sure you're uploading the right one. From this point forward, the entire stack creation could take upwards of 60 or 90 minutes. Please be very, very careful following along exactly what we do from this point forward. Push Continue. On this page, we see some of the parameters we can override. Let's choose a valid email for yourself. I'm going to choose my business email. And using this inside scroll bar, it's kind of hard to see. Let's drag down a little bit. And for all the account names and passwords, let's just use Drupal, all lowercase, D-R-U-P-A-L. D-R-U-P-A-L. And for our key name, let's use our production key pair that we created in other exercises. Leave the .pem off, just type production. This stack is going to create IAM resources on our behalf. Make sure you check this box before pushing continue. Let's add some tags to identify our resources from other resources we have. Let's use the tag of name, and let's call this Drupal stack tag, and push continue. This is a final validation page. One thing you should note here is we have a link for cost. Let's go ahead and click that. The great thing about CloudFormation templates is that you can do a simple monthly calculator to see what the cost of all the instances and all the resources in this stack would be. Here you can see that our monthly cost of 2 instances of M1 Small on Linux would be about $100. But the estimate of our entire bill is going to be higher. RDS is going to cost quite a bit, and they're figuring in bandwidth in and out. So from this point forward, be very aware. If you spin this stack up and don't spin it down later, Amazon is going to send you a bill for $230 per month from this point going forward. Pulling your stack back out is as easy as it is creating it. It's a single button. Don't be afraid of creating a stack from this point forward. Just be aware that when you create your stack, you need to tear it down later. This is why we recommend having at least about 60 to 90 minutes from this point forward. Let's go ahead and close this window now that we're aware of the costs that we might be charged. And let's go ahead and push continue here. We can see that we got a message, our stack is being created. Let's go ahead and close this window. While this stack is being created, let's look at a couple of the interesting areas of our CloudFormation Web GUI. Let's open up our detailed view a little bit and click on the Resources tab. On this tab, we can see every resource that's being created as it's being created. If there are any problems, it'll be specified in the far right column that says Reason. We can also see the template that we uploaded if we want to review any of the settings that we made. We can see the parameters that we chose at launch time and what they were set to. We use the key of name and the value of Drupal stack tag. This will attach Drupal stack tag as the name of all the assets we spin up. Let's go to Events. Events shows us step by step what is being created and when it got started creating. Let's scroll over to the far right. If we ever see any problem with our stack, it'll be specified in the reason over here. We can see that several things have already been completed. Let's scroll down a bit and see what it's finished. It's created an S3 bucket, it's created an IAM user, a bucket policy, and some other things. If you keep pushing refresh, you'll get an up-to-the-second view of what's being created with this template. Also notice that we have a delete stack button up here in the upper left. This allows for easy one-button rollback of all these resources. It's important to delete your stack if you ever need to head out. All the resources in here will be charged to you at an hourly basis going forward. Again, this is why we recommend you to have 60 to 90 minutes from this point forward to complete the rest of this exercise. This entire stack could take upwards of 60 to 90 minutes just creating. Amazon is doing a lot of things on our behalf, creating buckets, creating RDS instances, creating instances themselves, auto-scaling groups, and so forth. Let's go ahead and open up a couple other tabs to follow its progress. Select Services, right-click, and choose Open Link in New tab. Let's do that one more time to open two links to EC2. And let's go over to the second tab and wait for it to load. And after it's loaded, let's click Services again and right-click CloudWatch and open a link in a new tab. Let's go to the CloudWatch tab, and then from this tab, let's again click Services, roll over RDS, right-click, and choose Open Link in New tab again. We should have 5 tabs open now. One to CloudFormation, which is our first tab on the left, another to EC2, another to EC2 right next to it, another to CloudWatch right next to that, and RDS at the very end. Let's go to our first EC2 tab and click on Load Balancers. Having all these tabs up allow us to see what gets created when. Here we can see that our Elastic Load Balancer has been created for us. Let's click on the Instances tab next to it. We see that we have no instances in either AZ, and that probably makes sense. Our stack is still being built. Let's click over on RDS, and let's click on the 1 DB instances. We can see that RDS is being created for us, and this by far is what consumes the most time in this CloudFormation template. This alone could take anywhere from 20 to 40 minutes to complete, and you'll just have to be patient for it to finish. Unless you have an emergency and you have to run away, please don't delete your stack in the CloudFormation tab until you're sure that the stack is finished. If you delete your stack, you'll have to start all over again. You'll probably just have to refresh a couple times for upwards of 30 to 40 minutes. In fact, you may just want to walk away and come back when you're ready to proceed. One of the things you can do while you're waiting is change this default security group. If you click on Security Groups on one of your EC2 tabs, you'll see that CloudFormation has created a security group for our instances. Let's go down to the Detail window and push on the Inbound tab. You can see that this security group is currently locked down to only expose port 80 from an ELB. We're going to open that up so we can actually look at the web server on this machine directly. So let's add the port range of 80 with the source of all zeros. Push Add Rule and push Apply Rule Changes. This will allow us to directly access the web server that's on our instances. Let's go ahead and click back on Load Balancers. We want to keep this tab for Load Balancers. Going back to our CloudFormation tab, let's just keep pushing refresh in CloudFormation until we see the Create in Progress changes to Create Complete and shows a green dot instead of a yellow one. Again, this could take upwards of 20 to 40 minutes for you. Great. If you're at all like me, you were ecstatic when you finally saw this. Getting to Create Complete for this particular exercise could take between 20 and 40 minutes. Let's take a quick browse through the resources that were created on our behalf. Again, we have 5 tabs at the top: CloudFormation, EC2, which is focused on the load balancer, EC2, which is actually on the instances, and let's go ahead and click on instances there. Next to our EC2 tab, we should have CloudWatch Management, and next to CloudWatch Management, we should have RDS. Let's go ahead and leave these 5 tabs up just as they are. Let's go back and look at our load balancer, and let's refresh the view. You should see 2 instances, one in AZA and one in AZB, both in service. On the EC2 tab, you're going to see several instances. If you completed other exercises, you might see, for example, My First Server. This test machine is something that I spun up to help me when developing this course. Next to the EC2 tab, we have CloudWatch. Let's refresh this view. And we see that we have 2 alarms created, and we don't have enough data yet. This other alarm, which you may not see, is a billing alarm that I set up for this account. Let's go ahead and leave this tab as is. If we flip over to the RDS tab and we push refresh, we should see a green in the status. Everything for this CloudWatch stack creation looks good. Let's go ahead and click back on the first tab, and if you can at all, leave your tabs up just as they are, and leave your stack up just as it is, and finish the rest of this complete chapter. Next up, we strongly recommend completing the review stack in WebGUI exercise, and then the load test after that. This chapter again is best consumed in one sitting. From this point forward, you'll need about maybe 30 to 40 minutes to finish everything. If you don't have 30 to 40 minutes, you might want to delete your Drupal stack now so you don't forget about it and end up with a hefty bill later. From this point forward, anything you have running will be charged, and this is not exactly a cheap stack.